Well, good Sunday morning, everybody, and welcome to the Member 2 Sport and Wellness Center here in Member 2, Nova Scotia for the second half of this weekend doubleheader in Maritime U18 women's hockey action. The Lindsay Surge is in town from Halifax this weekend. They're here to face the host team, the Cape Breton Lynx. Yesterday they met here last night in Member 2. Lindsay, the Surge, coming out on top in that game with a 5-2 win. Scoring in that game for the Surge, Alina Gold, Danica Joseph, Alex Sangster, Maya McCormick, and tied for second in the league with 22 goals, Nevaeh Robertson. Responding for the Lynx was Rylan Gabriel and Cassie Cremo, but was not enough to pull out the home win here for the Lynx. Cape Breton playing a pair of back-to-back games here in Member 2. They're playing here in Member 2 for the first time in almost 2 months. They were last in this building, aside from yesterday's game, all the way back on October 19th. Although they are 3-4 wins and losses at home. Meanwhile, the Lindsay Surge are coming in very hot. Yesterday's win here in Member 2 was their 12th consecutive victory, dating all the way back to November 1st. In fact, Lindsay has not lost since October 26, which was a 3-2 defeat at the hands of the Greenfoot Capitals. However, even though the Surge have been on such a tear, they're not in first place in the league, and they're not even in second at the moment. They're still chasing those second and first place spots. However, with a win today, they can tie the Northern Subway Selects at 40 points in the standings for second place, although the Antigonish-based Selects also have a game of their own here this afternoon at home. And first place in the league is the Moncton Rockets. They sit well ahead with 43 points, and they're not playing any league games here this weekend. They're just playing exhibition action. But we'll tune in here as it'll be a challenge for both clubs, as they are missing a couple of their leading scorers. On the Cape Breton Lynx side, Rylan Gabriel, who had a goal yesterday, will be out of the lineup. She is nursing an injury. She's tied for 20th in the league as a defender, with 22 points in 23 games played. Meanwhile, on the other side, Rachel Hartnell for the Lindsay Surge will not suit up for today's matchup. She is tied for 8th in the league. She has 11 goals and 28 points on the campaign. However, the Surge, the highest scoring team in the league, have no shortage of talent here. They have lots of the league's top scorers here, led by Ellie Eisner. Eisner is a talent that is very tough to contain in this league. Has 36 points in 22 games, had an especially strong month of November, and she is 4th in league scoring right now. And as mentioned, Nevaeh Robertson has 22 goals. That is tied for second in the Maritime Women's Under-18 Hockey League here. Starting in goal for the Cape Breton Lynx today, Abby Jessam is getting back-to-back starts in the net to your left. Jessam is 5-9 on the season, has a 3.09 goals against average. And over in the net to your right, wearing the white jersey, Eleanor Feldham, 7-2 on the year. Has a .946 save percentage. That is the second best mark in the league, as well as a 1.54 goals against average. Good for 4th amongst all netminders playing regular time in this league. As the Cape Breton Lynx take the puck in down deep to start this hockey game over in the Surge's end, the Lindsay Surge in the white jerseys over to your right here this afternoon in Member 2. The Cape Breton Lynx in the purple and black uniforms, as both teams get their line changes in. Here comes Leckie for the Surge. Takes some contact there at the opposing blue line, but it's kept in as the rest of his teammates go in here for the change. Nevaeh Robertson wearing number 24. A deadly, deadly scoring option for this Lindsay Surge team. A big part of this team's offensive explosion this year. Nobody has a better plus-minus figure in the league than them. They have a plus 94 in this league this season. They've scored 124 goals in 23 games played. That's helped them sit at third place in the league here so far this year. Meanwhile, the Cape Breton Lynx are sitting comfortably in 6th place in the league. As curling out front, here's a shot from distance from Surge player. That was Ellie Eisner throwing it in net. Eisner, of course, leads the team in scoring. She's a 4th in the league in points. Now cutting in off to the right side. That's Lacey Poirier on the far side. Angled out by a Lynx defender. Coming in support is Alina Gold wearing number 18, and that's off a stick. It was a shot from the point. Originated from Victoria Tran all the way back on the blue line, and now Tran gets the puck back towards center ice. Picking up the puck, there's Jade Vickers. Vickers is 2nd on the Cape Breton Lynx in scoring. She has 23 points in as many games, but her dump-in attempt goes up and out of play as we get our first stoppage of the hockey game. A good amount of play to begin this one. There's 17 minutes and 25 seconds remaining in the opening frame, and that face-off is going to come all the way back out front of the Cape Breton Lynx bench. The Lynx have dropped 3 in a row, but that's after they had won 4 straight games before that, so keeping it pretty even. As mentioned, 6th place out of 9 teams in the standings here, and they kept it pretty close against the Surge for most of the game yesterday. That comes on back out. Danny Ray McGinnis passing that puck over to her defense partner, Olivia Morell. Back to McGinnis over on the wall as the Lynx look to force that up the boards and out. Drops back to McGinnis, back over to Morell. She has a little more room to get that out, and that's up for McCachran, wearing number 14 for the Lynx, who will dump that in. McCachran then heads to the bench. The Lynx keeping that pressure in, but the Lindsay Surge get that all the way out to the blue line. Will they jam it out? They won't there as McNeil holds it in for the Lynx. Getting some support on that blue line there as Mary Margaret McLean holds that on the line. The Surge caught in their own zone here for the first few minutes of this hockey game. Jade Vickers keeps that one in for the Lynx. The Lynx can't quite get it down in deep as they're slashing at the puck around the blue line, and they'll have to retreat back to their own zone. The Surge couldn't pick up that puck there as it would have been an offside, but now Jade Vickers is going to take this herself down the other way. She goes east to west here to the far boards, but that puck is sticked away, and now coming back the other way is Nevaeh Robertson. Robertson coming in toward the end of a shift there, so she'll head to the bench as some line mates come on. The Lynx will do the same. Coming back down the other way, there's a stretch pass, and anticipating that was Holly Gibbs. Gibbs is stopped there, but she's relieved by teammate Danica Joseph. Joseph will go in south of the goal line. Comes around to the close side, top of the circle. Crossways for her defenseman Gibbs. And that is intercepted there by McGinnis, the Lynx defender, and she'll send that the length of the ice, but not quite enough mustard on it as the icing is waved off. Teams will make a change. Surge go back down the other way. That's cut off by Morell at the blue line, and it's a blind pass pickup there by Alex Sangster. Sangster scored yesterday for the Surge in their 5-2 win here in Member 2. As cutting in, chance here for Ava Landry for the Lynx. Landry is the team's leading scorer. She has 23 points on the year in 21 games, leading the offense for this Lynx club. Landry come back down the other way, swings in front of the Surge bench. Landry has a little bit of daylight, backhand, forehand, and that is padded and stopped, and it's a good save there by Eleanor Feldham for the Lindsay Surge. Face-off will be to the left of Feldham. Taking the draw is Ellie Eisner for the Surge. But it is won by the Lynx. That was Avery McNeil win that draw, and she'll be pinned up along the boards by Eisner as they battle in behind the net. Victoria Tran, the defender wearing number 15 and the white uniform. Morel for the Lynx keeps it in. It's lost in the feet of Eisner. She tried to make a play in behind the net, helped out there by Isabel Kim. It's a 3-on-3 battle up along the boards. The Lynx will come on out with the puck. And the shot trickles wide. It's a pass out front, and that was right on the tape of Avery McNeil, but the shot went wide, couldn't quite get to the net. McNeil will try again, but didn't have much time or space to get that shot off. And working that puck out is Eisner as her line goes down the other way, accompanied by Robertson to her left and Alina Gold to the right. Top line for this Lindsay Surge team. You always have to have your head on a swivel when those three are on the ice, but they will head off for a shift right now as the Lynx get a little bit of time to go for that stretch pass, and they found it coming down the other way. Here's the shot from Cassie Cremo. Cremo scored yesterday and tried to force that one in toward the net. Was defended off the side. Cremo out there on the line with Layla Austin, who made the pass back to Cremo. In front, trying to fight for the puck was Angioni in front of the net, Elise Angioni, who got the tip on there and almost got it right back. Elise Angioni is a big presence in front of that net for the Cape Breton Lynx, making life hard in net for Feldham, the goaltender. But coming back down the other way, it's Poirier with the shot, and that rides up the stick and over top of the net. Abby Jessam has made a pair of saves for the Cape Breton Lynx so far this morning, early in this hockey game. 12:42 left to go in this period. No goals in this hockey game so far, as we're fairly early on here in this Sunday morning matchup. The second of two games between these two teams this weekend, as that Vickers shot from distance was deflected just wide, went by the left post of Feldham. And it's dumped in there by the Lynx's Madison McCachran, and the black jerseys will change up. Come back out the other way is the defender Holly Gibbs. Gibbs goes up far along the boards for Ellie Eisner. The Eisner line getting lots of ice time here early in this hockey game. Out with Robertson and Alina Gold on the far wing. But all the forwards are bunched together in front of the Surge bench as they work to get this puck out, and they do just enough. As the Lynx bring it back in toward the zone, it was a long shot for Feldham to handle, bobbled it there for a millisecond, but covered it up and will force the whistle to her right side. As mentioned, the Lindsay Surge are on a tear. They're 19-3-0 on the season. They have won 12 straight league games. They haven't lost since October 26th. That came at the hands of the Greenfoot Capitals. They lost that one 3-2. And they're 10-1 on the road this year. They only have one loss away from home. That came against the first place Moncton Rockets on October 5th. They dropped that matchup 2-1. The Lindsay Surge have a couple of home rinks. Play at the Daphne Center on campus of St. Mary's University in Halifax, as well as at the RBC Center in Dartmouth. The Lynx take that puck, tried to force it past the defender Kim, but Kim will hold the line. Down deep for Danica Joseph. She has a little bit of time and space to try and make something happen, but the pass is errant and goes all the way back over to the red line. Dumped in, Olivia Morel is the first Lynx to that puck. It's a heavy forecheck there from Robertson. No call. She'll steal the puck. Nevaeh Robertson trying to make something happen. Lets the shot go from a tough angle and falling down backwards is Justin, but she made the save. And the Lynx get it out. Now coming up with a head of steam. Here comes Madison McCachran in one-on-one. Challenged there by the defender Mackenzie Rossong. And the Surge defender forces it back. Here's Vickers, long-range shot, but the goaltender Feldham saw it and steered it off to the far side corner. Surge trying to buy some time there on the backhand. That was a tough puck to clear. So Lynx tried to hold it in. Second attempt on the breakout. Sangster was on the boards but lost it to Vickers. Vickers let that fly over the net. And she wasn't happy about that. And she'll get another chance here. She possesses a heavy shot, number 10 in the black uniform. That's why she's such a deadly weapon from the blue line for this team. That time she'll opt to go to her D partner. Shooting that puck was Mary Margaret McLean. And it is scooped up by Feldham for another save as we cross the midway point of the first period here. Still no score between the Lindsay Surge and the Cape Breton Lynx. Face off to the right of the goaltender, Feldham. That is won by Eisner for the Surge. That's forked out the far side. Robertson gets a stick on it and forces a turnover. Eisner slows up at the red line but will gain it for the dump in. Having to clear that puck. Mabella Scott stepping in on defense tonight. Almost gave it away though. That was in the danger zone in front of Abby Jessum's net. But the Lynx will get it down and go for a change. Battling with that puck, Cassie Cremo of the Lynx going one-on-one against the defender Isabel Kim. That was a good battle, but the puck is stolen again by the Lynx. Elise Angioni had it for a millisecond there, but stolen again by Nevaeh Robertson for the Surge, and a shot down the length of the ice. That pass was intended for Reese Votor, but a tired forward line of Surge players goes to the bench, and here's the stretch pass. Here's a good one here coming for Isabel Perouche, and she is defended and knocked off the puck there. Good defensive play. Mackenzie Rossong, the defender, stopping that one for the Surge, as Perouche didn't even get the shot off on the goaltender Feldham. Perouche is the first in on that forecheck, trying to take that puck back out there on that forward line with center Avery McNeil. Now coming in, it's a good battle for the puck there. Dragging him behind is Lacey Poirier on the forecheck. It's a 2-on-2 battle to the left of Jessam, the goaltender. And it's brought back out the other way. Now coming up hot is Jade Vickers. Vickers lets the shot go. That's a deceptive release from Vickers, but is padded away as Eleanor Feldham was ready for it. Puck is kept in by Morell, looking for McNeil across the blue line. McNeil tries to spin back, but is knocked off the puck there by Poirier of the Surge. McNeil gets a second chance, though, steps around one Surge player. Looks through the screen, and cutting to the net hard was Julia Brown going to the net, wearing number 7. And there's the shot on the second attempt there. Mary Margaret McLean took a slap at that, but it was a little too hard as it came out. Now coming down the other way, Gabrielle London goes to the net, but lost a handle on it as McLean separated London from the puck and let it roll into Abby Jessam for the cover-up at 7:38 in the first period. Face-off will be to the right of the goaltender Jessam. Right now, Cape Breton out shooting the Surge, 8 shots to 2. They've had most of the chances. However, as we've seen this season, it doesn't take long for the Surge to find a way to get the puck into the net. They have a lot of weapons on this team. But the Lynx playing hard and sticking right with them so far here this morning. Jade Vickers looking for that pass up for Jayla Andrews. But it is wide and doesn't hit anybody, so it'll come all the way back down to the Lynx zone for an icing and a face-off. Maya McCormick taking that draw for the Lindsay Surge. Layla Austin for the Lynx, and it's won by the Surge. It's off a stick there. It hit Vickers of the Lynx and went wide of the net, went well wide. Battling with that puck on the boards, Gabrielle Buffett for the Surge, wearing number 29. Now chasing there is Votor, and she will take the puck back. But it comes to a standstill, and coming away with it now again, it's Maya McCormick. Finds Buffett on the boards for the Surge, and the forwards will change for that team. Here comes Jade Vickers. She likes to carry it, and there she goes. Vickers on the far side boards, lets it the wrister go on Feldham. Easy blocker safe. Cassie Cremo holds the line, but it goes over her head on the second clearing attempt by the Surge. Off a stick there in front of the timekeeper's bench, and Lindsay gets it in. First on the forecheck, that's Alex Sangster. Will take the puck back. Here's a shot from Rossong, was actually looking for the pass far side for Danica Joseph, but it goes wide. Joseph had the puck there for a second, lost it, now back to her defenseman, and that clapper goes wide of the net. Lynx struggling to get it out here, but they finally get it to about center ice. First on the puck again is Mackenzie Rossong. She's been everywhere on that blue line so far in this hockey game for the Lindsay Surge. Reliable presence on that blue line. Mary Margaret McLean looks for the pass as she had some tired teammates. And the Surge do the same as they change up. There's a dumping attempt. Olivia Morell will stop that at her own blue line for Cape Breton. Coming in relief is McLean. She gets it by a Surge player, and coming in relief is Masson McCachran. McCachran stops up and looks for the pass back to McLean. That shot is blocked. Isabelle Perouche takes it up along the boards, was stopped up there by the defender Victoria Tran. The second attempt shot from the line from Vickers is off a set of shin pads, and back down the other way comes Ellie Eisner. Look out, she's going to curl off to the left as Robertson driving to the net. She's taken down. No call on the play, and the shot is kept away out of the danger zone. Between the legs pass from Perouche looking for the breakout. Doesn't find a teammate, but it gets it across the blue line as the Surge will change up. Mary Margaret McLean. These Lynx defenders logging lots of minutes here early in this hockey game. Of course, one of their go-to blue liners, Rylan Gabriel, out of the lineup today with an injury. Attempt to get that puck out was Mabella Scott, the defender for Cape Breton, but stopped up by an aggressive Lindsay Surge forecheck. There's a pair of Surge players there in the corner with another pair of Lynx. That is off a stick. That pass was intended for the Surge defender, but Julia Brown will get it down the ice as it doesn't quite have enough for an icing there. That's Alicia Nedelku trying to get that puck out for Lindsay. Gets it all the way down to the Lynx zone. First on it is Gabriel London. London for the Surge. Tries to keep that puck down into the corner. It's held in by her teammates. Nedelku on the blue line. But the Lynx will take it back up the other way. 3:41 remaining in this first period. No goals yet today. It's still scoreless at 0. Now coming in is Nevaeh Robertson. There's a shot. Tried to fool Jessam down low, but Abby Jessam made the save, steer over the corner. Second attempt. That pass was intended out front for Maya McCormick, but it's turned over for the Surge with the head of steam the other way. Here comes Ava Landry. Landry is knocked down and defended on one knee in the corner as her teammates came in support, but the Surge will come back out with it. Maya McCormick comes up the close side wall in one-on-one against Olivia Morell, but that's a good stick and defensive play. And taking a bump from behind, McCormick threw that hit on Olivia Morell. And the Cape Breton Lynx in just a moment here will go to the first power play of the morning here. And it's finally touched up by the Lindsay Surge. It's going to be an interference call charged against Maya McCormick of the Surge. And we'll get our first look at the Cape Breton Lynx power play here this morning with just 2:48 to go in the opening frame. The Lynx really rely on their power play for their scoring. They have a strong one-person advantage here. 22.3% on the season. That's good for third in the league. The Lindsay Surge has the sixth best penalty kill in the league, 82.5%. There's the shot from distance. Danny Ray McGinnis tried to drive that through the crowd, but it is off a pair of shin pads. Out there with Elise Angioni, and that's off a body, and that rolled through the crease. Recovering that behind the net is Ava Landry playing the below goal line position. On the half wall on the far side is Jade Vickers wearing number 10. Angioni keeps that puck in over to McGinnis. Vickers waiting on the far side, battling out front as well. It's Ava Landry joined out there on the power play by Cremo. And behind the net makes the pass to Angioni at the top of the circle on the near side. And Joni up top, just barely holding that line, is McGinnis. Jade Vickers going for a change here in the middle of the power play as the Surge attempt to clear, but they don't quite get it out far enough. McGinnis holds the line. Jumping onto the ice now is Masson McCachran on the close side wall. Here's a shot from distance. That's a gutsy shot block from Mackenzie Rossong for the Surge. Coming in behind the net now, there's Layla Austin. The shot in close from McCachran is knocked away. Danny Ray McGinnis has been out there the whole power play, holds that line again, up for McGinnis. Far side down for Layla Austin, goes cross ice for McCachran, and it was caught up there around Feldham for a second. 25 seconds left on this Lynx power play. Minute 10 in the period. Up top for McGinnis. And that is through the feet of Layla Austin. The pass is too hot to handle, and she'll be tied up there by the Surge defender Rossong. Comes up to McCachran, 8 seconds left in the power play now. McGinnis tried to throw that in down deep. The Lynx have maintained the control this entire power play, but have had trouble getting that puck to the net as the Surge have been tightening it up in front of their goaltender. And now we're finally back to 5-on-5 here with 38 seconds remaining in the opening frame. Down in deep for Avery McNeil, trying to keep this attack and this pressure going as Cremo is in there to try and take that puck back. McNeil fights him behind the net, finds Cremo on the reverse side, tries to get it up the boards for the defender McCachran, lets the shot go, but fan on it as that rolled wide of the Surge net. Joseph tries to get that out for Lindsay and does just enough there as the Lynx step in offside. And the Lindsay Surge defenders with a big opening penalty kill here, and they finally get a well-deserved break. 9.5 seconds here is all that remains in this opening frame. Still scoreless between the Lynx and the Surge. Face-off just in the neutral zone here in the Surge end. As Cape Breton tries to take it down one more time, Jade Vickers throws that in on the backhand, but they will run out of time here as we come to the end of the opening frame. No goals yet, but some good goaltending there from Eleanor Feldham, especially on that last penalty kill for Lindsay to keep it scoreless there. The shots are 12-4 in favor of the home team, the Cape Breton Lynx. And we will see yous back here after the first intermission flood here on the High Button Sports. Stay tuned. And welcome back to Member 2 here for the second period here on the High Button Sports for this Sunday matinee matchup between the host Cape Breton Lynx and the Lindsay Surge in town from Halifax here this weekend. The Surge hoping to come home with a full 4 points on this road trip up to Cape Breton. And the Lynx trying to close out their 2025 calendar year at home here with a win. The Lynx put up a good effort here in the first period. They outshot Lindsay by a count of 12-4. They had a late period power play as well and were in control, but some great killing as well from the Surge kept the puck from getting too close to danger and out of their net. So the teams prepare to get underway here for the middle frame. That's Ava Landry taking the face-off for the Lynx, but winning the draw was Chloe Leckie for the Lindsay Surge. The Surge are down in their own zone, but they'll be right back out with it. But that's actually off a stick of Olivia Morell, a little too quickly for the host side, as it is off a teammate and offside charged against the Lynx. Face-off will come just outside in the neutral zone. Same two centers at it. This time it's Ava Landry winning the face-off. Straight over to Jade Vickers on the close side, but it's another offside here against the Lynx as they're blown down twice in 10 seconds for being a little too over-anxious at the opposing blue line. Jade Vickers, always quick to exploit that opening from the opposing team. Likes to skate with that puck and is especially like to shoot it. I don't have her exact shot statistics here, but she is definitely responsible for at least a few of the Lynx shots here in the first period, and safe to say probably many more here in this hockey game with still 2 periods to go. Chasing that puck for the Lynx is Olivia Morell. She is first to that puck, was under pursuit there by the forechecker Alex Sangster. Finds her Lynx teammate far side for Massa McCachran. Had the puck for just a moment, but turned it over to the Surge as they go back in on the counterattack. There's Leckie. Leckie steps over to the top of the slot, but opts to go to her defender. There's a shot from Rossong, and that goes wide. First to the puck is Chloe Leckie in the corner. She'll curl to the top, looking for that centering pass to Gabrielle London, but couldn't handle it. A little too hot. Took a stick up high with London, but no call. And cutting out toward the front of the net. Close opportunity there for the Surge as they had a little bit of room. Alina Gold back at the other end of the ice was swinging for that puck in front of the net, but just missed. And it's off the stick there, off Lacey Poirier, but it was on her own side of the red line, so it'll be an offside charged against the Lindsay Surge. It'll come all the way back down to Lindsay's end of the ice. Lindsay trying to turn things around here early in the period. The last couple of shifts, they've had some looks on Abby Jessum's net. Trying to see if they can score the first goal of this hockey game. Haven't seen it yet. Starting out is Alicia Nedelku, the defender for the Surge. Gives it up to teammate Lacey Poirier, who will fork the backhand in behind the Lynx net. Cape Breton will take it back. Avery McNeil come back the other way, throws a floater up towards center ice. It's intended for Isabel Perouche. Dumps it in and goes for the change for the Lynx. Leading the charge the other way, that's Victoria Tran. Lets a heavy shot go. That is up and off the glass. That's as her Lindsay Surge teammates were going for a change. Careful not to get too many players on the ice in that one. As Angioni battles for that puck. Elise Angioni gets that up across the Surge blue line and into the O-zone here for the Lynx. It's a 3-on-3 battle up there at the point. Bit of a rugby scrum forming there, but it finally squirts out onto some Lindsay Surge sticks. Joseph for the Surge headed for a moment, but at the red line loses it as now the Lynx complete a full line change. Starting out the other way, that's Holly Gibbs. Pass is intended up the boards, but will instead fall back to Gibbs. D-to-D pass finds its way up to Joseph on the close side. Is defended off to the side there by Danny Ray McGinnis, preventing a shot. Olivia Morell goes up towards center ice, finds the pass for Massa McCackern, who will come down the boards and throws it into the far side corner. Taking a bump there was the forechecker from the Surge, as Landry holds it in for the Lynx. Headed below the goal line there for a second, but a Surge player throws it up back into the neutral zone, and that will be a trip. Both officials got that one as Landry takes it in the zone. The Lynx will go back to the power play in a minute unless they score on this chance, but the puck will get caught onto the back of the net. It'll be a tripping call charged to Lindsay, and Reese Votor is the guilty party on that tripping minor. And we'll get another look at the third best power play here in the league. So Cape Breton Lynx will take the face-off to the right of goaltender Eleanor Feldham. 16:15 left in this second period. The officials having a quick conversation at the Cape Breton Lynx bench before we drop the face-off puck here. Looks like Cassie Cremo will take the face-off for the Cape Breton Lynx. And out on the penalty kill is Ellie Eisner taking the draw, but the Lynx win it. Danny Ray McGinnis, the defender there, out there with Jade Vickers. Vickers takes it down to the right side face-off dot and back to McGinnis. The top, and the short side shot from Cremo sails high and wide. Lisa Angioni tried to get back to her defenseman, but loses it. Eisner will shoot it down the ice, helped out there by fellow killer Nevaeh Robertson, who is up there aggressive on Danny Ray McGinnis. And Robertson will finally get it all the way down toward Abby Jessum's net. Quarterbacking this power play now comes Jade Vickers. Will go for skate curls one way and then the other to elude Eisner. Vickers, second on the team in scoring. One of the top scoring defenders here in the league. Third amongst blue liners. And tries to take it in, but that's a good kill for the Lindsay Surge forwards. Robertson and Eisner, the core pieces on that forward line there for the Surge. They don't just score for this team, they kill penalties effectively. And here comes Jade Vickers. She breaks all the way in and fanned on the shot. She crisscrossed through a trio of Surge penalty killers and got as close as the hash marks before going for the shot, but couldn't pull the trigger or get a quality shot off. As we get a whistle here, looked like the puck was caught on the back of the net. That's the second time this has happened in that period. That play has been blown down. The officials just having a quick look here to make sure nothing suspicious or peculiar is going on the back of the netting. They seem to be satisfied, so we'll get a face-off to the right of Eleanor Feldham. The face-off was won by the Surge, but Lawand will come out with it for the Lynx. Here's a shot from the point. The rebound is off the pad of Feldham and just barely stayed out. It was sitting there in the crease, but the Lynx couldn't jump on it as 30 seconds remain on the Cape Breton power play. Hillary Lawand was right on top of the netminder there, and her stick was right there by the puck, but she couldn't get that last oomph in on it to bang that home for the game's opening goal. And we're still at 0-0 here as the power play is ticking down here. But Austin will step in, cross-ice pass. That was an excellent chance there, but Avery McNeil was caught on the offhand and couldn't direct that on net. And we're back to 5-on-5 action. Stormed out of the box is Reese Votor. She waited there for a second at the far blue line as her teammates got the puck in their defensive zone. Couldn't hit her with the pass, so the penalty killers will completely change up as we return to 5-on-5. Alex Sangster down and below the goal line. Surge trying to turn the tide here. They had started the period off strongly before that penalty. And the Lynx got a couple of excellent chances there on their power play, but couldn't break through as McCachran steps in, lets the shot go high, and seeing that all the way through was Feldham, who waffle boards the puck off the blocker into the corner. Comes all the way up. Here's some daylight for Alex Sangster. Partial break, lets the shot go, and it's an excellent glove save there to settle things down for Abby Jessam. Jessam hasn't seen a lot of action in the net yet here this afternoon, but that'll be her 6th save of the game, and we'll settle it down for a face-off to her right, an important one there. 13:23 left here in the middle frame, still a scoreless game. The Lynx have had a pair of power plays, including one that just ended moments ago. Here's the shot in close. Dangerous chance for Maya McCormick right on top of the net, but she threw that off the side of the goal cage. McCormick takes a circle around center ice, finds her teammate up there, Gabriel London, the recipient of that pass. London lost it, though, at the hands of Landry of the Lynx. Lynx can't get it out. There's the long shot from Nedelku, and that sails into the glove of Jessam, and there will be another face-off down in the Lynx zone. Lindsay looking for their 13th consecutive win in U18 Maritime Major Female Hockey League action. If they win, they can tie the Subway Selects for second place in the league standings. Surge currently at 38 points in the standings. Subway Selects at 40, although the Antigonish-based Selects also play this afternoon, and they score! Looked like a weak shot in from distance from the Surge, but it somehow snuck under Jessam, and the Surge strike first here this afternoon in member 2. It's Gabriel Buffett who will get the goal on that one. Looked like an innocent looking shot going off the pads of Jessam, but it somehow snuck through. And sometimes that is all you need for the goal. That was the case that time for the Lindsay Surge. And they are on the board here, the Halifax-based Surge. Across the line. Have had a couple of good shifts here in the offensive zone. Started the period that way, and after killing off an all-important penalty, they do the same. There's some traffic in front of Eleanor Feldham's net. A Lynx player went down, but the play will come out unscathed. But we are going to have a penalty coming up here, and it's going to go against the Cape Breton Lynx this time. It's a hooking call. Looks like Mary Margaret McLean will go to the box on that one. And for the first time this afternoon, we'll get a look at the Lindsay Surge's power play. The second best 5-on-4 metric in U18 Maritime Major Female Hockey League. Their power play is clicking at 27.7% right now, and they win the faceoff. Taking it in deep is Reese Votor, wearing number 10, play the net front position. Rossong out there with Ellie Eisner on the half wall on the close side, but is separated from the puck by a Lynx killer. As Cassie Cremo takes it in across the blue line. It's offside, but doesn't touch up, so there'll be no call, and Mackenzie Rossong settles it down for this Lindsay Surge power play. Ellie Eisner will lead the rush out. She'll go for a skate. Sidesteps Screamo to one side. Here comes Eisner, cuts in, tried to have a look and dropped it back for Nevaeh Robertson. If Robertson gets room to shoot that puck, it's dangerous, but she mishandled the pass there and shot down the other way by the Lynx. As a minute 10 still remains on this initial Lindsay Surge power play of the game, and it's off a skate in front. Excellent chance there, generated rather out of nowhere by these Cape Breton Lynx penalty killers. Right on top of the net was Layla Austin, but the goaltender Eleanor Feldham has had a busy game thus far and makes the save. Just moments ago, Gabriel Buffett made it 1-0 for the Lindsay Surge. Buffett's 8th goal of the year and 19th point. The puck comes down the other way as the Surge tried to break it in. with a bit of a long dump in, and it's a bit too long as an icing will be charged against the visitors here. Still 46 seconds left in this power play. Trying to expand on that 1-0 lead they just opened up. And the draw is won by the Lindsay Surge. Got their second power play unit out here right now. Quarterback by Victoria Tran, the defender. As well as Alicia Nedelku. Nedelku's the one making that pass up the ice as Joseph takes it through the neutral zone, is tied up there, and it's going to be another penalty charge against the Cape Breton Lynx. I think it'll be another hooking call as the attacker was drugged down the neutral zone. Danica Joseph took a look there for a second. It was Joseph who was drugged down about 15 seconds ago. And finally, as the Cape Breton Lynx touches up, it is Ava Landry heading to the box. And for 10 seconds, we'll get a 5-on-3 power play for the Lindsay Surge. Good chance to get set up and maybe get a shot or two in on Abby Jessam, the goaltender. An excellent opportunity here for the Surge to really spread out this game as the Ellie Eisner line steps out for Lindsay. Russong just barely holds the line as her team won the draw. Russong steps to the top of the slot, and looking to the back door right for that shot was Reese Votor, but her shot goes wide. Eisner goes cross ice. Return pass to Eisner, centering in front. The backhand over to Votor. Right there was Robertson too, as the Lynx failed to clear at first, but backed up by Cremo. Here comes Cassie Cremo, the breakaway. Lets a shot go, rebound. Trickles in front of Eleanor Feldham, who then makes the save, as going in aggressively on the rebound attempt was Isabel Perouche for the Lynx, but it is covered up as it's another big save for Feldham. With a crucial save on a shorthanded breakaway, Cassie Cremo getting oh so close there to opening the scoring for the host team. But it remains a 0 on the scoreboard for the Cape Breton Lynx for now. So they're in the midst of killing off another penalty. There's a minute 32 left on this Surge power play. And that is a heavy shot, and taking that into the hand is Isabella Perouche. Has the glove off and everything. That is not a great sight to see, as Mary Margaret McLean, her teammate, shot that puck. You never like to see that. Hopefully she's all right. Ellie Eisner takes the puck in for the Lindsay Surge on the other end. A minute left in this power play for Lindsay. Eisner is knocked off the puck. Aggressive kill there. It's Layla Austin punches that puck back toward the Lindsay Surge's blue line. Surge taking it in. Only for a minute there as a player falls down in front of the bench and we get a whistle. I believe it'll just be an offside call rather than a too many players on the ice. There were some Surge players changing there. Face-off will actually go inside the Cape Breton Lynx zone. 52 seconds left in the Surge power play. Alina Gold taking the face-off for the power play unit. Gold will actually be kicked out of the draw. One of her players was a little too eager to take that. Lacey Poirier will now step in, and on the offhand wins the draw back to Alicia Nedelku on the point. Nedelku cross for Lacey Poirier, stepping in, and the sidestep was the defender there, Victoria Tran, thrown toward the net, and she scores! There's the power play goal the Surge were looking for, as that one squeezes through Jessam, and the Lindsay Surge double their lead here. It looks like Alicia Nedelku will get credit on that one. Nedelku let the shot go from roughly the top of the face-off circle there on the close side, and it beats the Lynx goalie, and that will make it 2-0. It's a power play goal for the Lindsay Surge. And everybody in this league knows it. As soon as a team like the Lindsay Surge finds a way to fill that net once or even twice, it's hard to stop them. And just like that, they have struck twice here midway through the second period. Jessam opts to cover that up. It was a quiet first period for the Surge attackers, only registered 4 shots on net. They're already up to 9 here as we cross the midway point of regulation time here in the second period. Leisha Nedelku just scoring moments ago. Scoring earlier in the period was Gabriel Buffett to round out the scoring thus far in this hockey game. Ava Landry, she's the one who took the penalty there, the hooking penalty that led to the Surge goal. Takes that in, stopped up at the blue line. As it's a battle, we're going to have another penalty coming up. I believe that one's going to go against the Surge. It's a hooking call. Gabriel London taking that penalty there, and a great opportunity for the Cape Breton Lynx to try and at least get within one once more of the Surge. They're 0 for 2 on the power play here so far. The one-person advantage has been good for them so far here this year. They're 3rd in the league in power play percentage. They're heading into this game at a 22.3% clip. As stealing that puck the other way is Joseph, the killer for the Surge. Joseph goes in one-on-one against Danny Ray McGinnis. McGinnis, quarterback in this Lynx power play, will get it back to her teammate. Jade Vickers goes in one-on-one, steps around. She can fly. Here she comes. A shot. Hit the goal post with the shot. She saw some daylight up over the shoulder of Feltham, but couldn't register that all-important first goal for the Lynx quite yet. First in on the puck is Angioni. And only had it for a moment before the Surge stole it and shot it down the ice. And a number of their penalty killers will go for the change. Minute 15 left here on this Cape Breton Lynx power play. Their 3rd opportunity of the afternoon. Wouldn't they like to find some offense with this power play? They are desperate for a goal right now. Vickers coming oh so close seconds ago, hitting the goal post. But not enough as McLean throws it up across the ice. Looking for the centering pass to Masson McCachran. McCachran gets it down low to Avery McNeil. McNeil in front. Rolls off the stick of Layla Austin toward the net, tied up in front. A Lynx player was drugged down in front of the net as Austin gets it on the close side hash marks. Back to McLean at the point in front of the Lynx bench, and that's off the glass and pops right over to a Surge killer. The defender, Chloe Leckie, couldn't quite get it out. Has the puck stolen in front. Jamming at the puck in front of the net is Hillary Lawand, who tried to work the wraparound attempt on the goaltender Feltham. And cutting back and forth is Austin through a crowd. There's a lot of bodies there, and shoved down in front of the net was Avery McNeil, who tried to stuff that backhander past Feltham. But the Surge goaltender has been on top of things here so far with 19 saves this afternoon with 6:33 left in the second period and 11 seconds left on this Lindsay Surge penalty. Cassie Cremo, she had a penalty, a breakaway while shorthanded on the penalty kill about 4 minutes ago. Couldn't score. So that's off a body in front. Good block by the Surge defender. And on that loose was Mackenzie Rossong. Jade Vickers back out there as we return to 5-on-5 action. The Surge player is back on the ice, and it is picked off, and here's the stretch pass for Reese Vautour. It's a breakaway for Vautour in alone. Oh, what a glove save, and an important one by Abby Jessam, flashing the leather as Vautour, a dangerous offensive threat as part of this Lindsay Surge offense, is denied right out of the box. It wasn't Vautour who had the penalty, but she was the one jumping off the bench as the penalized player from the Surge made her way back across the ice from the penalty box and came out so close there to putting this game even more out of reach, but it stays within 2 goals. It's a huge save there from the Lynx goaltender, her best one of the afternoon here in Member 2. It's dumped in by Olivia Morell, the defender for the Cape Breton Lynx, but it's picked up first by a Surge player. It's off a body, skips over to McNeil for the Lynx, and on the rebound, she scores! And that will cut the lead to 1 for the Surge as the Cape Breton Lynx get on the board. Hillary Lawand throws that past the glove of Eleanor Feltham, the goaltender. And it is 2-1 now with that one. And what a potential turning point here for the Cape Breton Lynx, all starting with that huge breakaway save by Abby Jessam on Reese Vautour of the Surge. Coming back the other way, it is Hillary Lawand getting her team on the board here in member 2. It is now 2-1. Jade Vickers gains the red line and dumps it in. Some new life charged into this Cape Breton Lynx team. They needed that jolt of energy, it seems, both from that breakaway save and the following goal there by Lawand. Passed out front there, the Surge trying to respond here quickly. Lynx not giving them much room. Dumped in, that was Brown shooting in. That is off the helmet of the defender Holly Gibbs. Gibbs will be back to recover it with her D partner Victoria Tran. Tran takes it up, there's the backhand floater there up the center ice. Cutting in out of nowhere is Gabriel Buffett. Buffett had the first goal of the afternoon here for the Surge. Buffett goes in one-on-one in the corner up against Mabella Scott, the defender, and Scott is drugged down. There was some pleading from the benches, but no call. So there was a stick there, but now there will be a penalty. It's a hooking minor, and I think that one is also going against the Lindsay Surge. Alicia Nadelku, who has a goal for Lindsay this afternoon, will take the hooking minor there. And what a chance this is for the Cape Breton Lynx to tie this game before the second period is out. 4:48 left on the clock here in the middle frame. Just moments ago, Hillary Lawand getting Cape Breton on the board. Can they make a 2-2 here? Their power plays look good. It's 0 for 3 this afternoon. That goal came in 5-on-5 action, although the power play before that was strong. It came with some good chances. And puck goes in toward the net. It's not covered up. Now it's going to be blown down. We've seen a lot of aggression in front of Eleanor Feldham's crease here this afternoon. It is really something to see the one-on-one battles between mostly Cassie Cremo is the one stirring up antics, either Cremo or Elise Angioni for the Lynx in front of that net. It's definitely a tall order to live up to for the Surge defenders. And they'll try again here as Jade Vickers loads up from the far side but misses to the short side. Cremo will cut in toward the net as that battle ensues again in front of the crease. Coming around, there's the cross-ice pass looking for Vickers. Good vision there from Landry. Back to the top. McGinnis down to Landry, and Vickers lets that go, but that is off a stick. A good penalty kill stick there from Lacey Poirier to force that shot deflected up into the mesh over by the score clock here in member 2. And the face-off will come to the right of Feltham. Cremo wins the draw for the Lynx. They still have 1:20 left on this power play. Danny Ray McGinnis over to Angioni on the far side, curling up around is Landry. Landry looks around over to McGinnis at the top of the slot, down to the hash marks and back up to McGinnis, who will find Angioni on the backhand. Rotating back and forth out of the corner with Ava Landry. The puck is kept in. That was in front of the goal for a second, but it didn't go much further than that as the Surge penalty killers get it down the ice. Still 50 seconds left on this Cape Breton Lynx power play, and that's off a skate, and they lost it. Gabriel London is that lead penalty killer in there on the forecheck, trying to stir Layla Austin off to the boards. But Austin will cut back toward the center of the ice. She's got some room, skates in, and she's taken down in front of the net. What will the call be? Will they go to center ice? Let's see here. It's only going to be a tripping call rather than a possible penalty shot. But another penalty yet again for the Lindsay Surge. And now it's the Cape Breton Lynx's turn to go on the 5-on-3 advantage. What an opportunity this is here. Great stakes on the momentum side of things. Can the Lynx tie this game up? Or can the Surge hold this off and turn the tide back their way? The face-off will come to the left of Feldham. 5-on-3 action for 31 seconds or less. Gabriel Buffett was the one taking that penalty. A tripping call. Ava Landry taking that draw. for the Cape Breton Lynx, or at least she was. Now it's going to be McNeil. Face-off is won. Drop back to McCachran with McGinnis at the blue line. Lets it go through traffic. The rebound. Oh, what a save by Feldham. Two of them. Oh, stuck out the right toe. Kick save and a beauty for Eleanor Feldham. Keeping that puck over the net. Backhanded in. The goalie stick. Feldham had lost her paddle in front of the net. And oh, what a fury of frantic plays in front of the Surge net as the first penalty comes to an expiry there. And the chances don't get much better than that if you're the Cape Breton Lynx, as they had about 3 excellent chances there. And Feldham with at least 2 different instances of goaltending heroics there, including that excellent toe save off the right pad to keep her team in the lead. As that stretch pass was errant and wide, and the Lindsay Surge defenders will win the race that puck for an icing call. There's still 1:09 left here for the Cape Breton Lynx on this second power play here, although the first has expired. Still 5-on-4 on the ice for the home team. They're 0 for 4 here this afternoon on the power play, but my goodness, that was a fury of some excellent chances there for the Lynx, but great goaltending there by Eleanor Feldham. There's a reason she has some of the best metrics in the league. 7-2 in 9 games played this year. The second best save percentage in the league at .946. She knows how to get the job done between the pipes for this Lindsay Surge team, which has been, no pun intended, surging up the standings here. And they still hold on to that 2-1 lead here. 2 minutes left in this second period here. 34 seconds left in the most recent Cape Breton Lynx power play as the Lynx get it down deep. It's a 2-on-1 battle there as Avery McNeil jams it out for the Lynx, but jams it out to the wrong team. It's Alicia Nedelku skating it down to center ice as the Surge penalty killers change up. The Lynx haven't been quite able to establish themselves after those chances at the end of their 5-on-3 opportunity. They've been in and out of the O-zone as Felton covers up. Face-off will be to her left. 9 seconds left now on the power play. 1:26 remaining now in the second period. We've seen some good pressure here from the Lynx. The Lynx haven't been among the highest scoring teams in the league here this year, but they have 27 shots. They're out shooting the Surge 27-10 here this afternoon, which is quite the thing to see considering the Surge are the highest scoring team in the U18 Maritime Major Female Hockey League this season. Sitting in third place, of course, in the standings. Great stick handling there from Kim. Stepped around a pair of Lynx players. Here's the pass out front. Oh, what a save! We've seen a couple of big ones from Abby Jessom this afternoon, too. And that was a great stop with the right pad there, as I believe it was Maya McCormick left all alone in front of the net. Falling down in front of the net, there was a collision there. It rolled in front of Abby Jessom with no further danger. There's a little bit of pushing and shoving there at the top of the blue paint there after the whistle went. We've been seeing a lot of that from both teams there. Both teams defensive of their goaltenders, while also working hard in front of the net, in front of the goaltender's sight line on the opposite side of the ice. Has made for some good player-on-player battles here all afternoon through 2 periods of this hockey game. We have 35 seconds remaining here in the second period. See if the Lynx can pop one through and maybe tie this game, or if the Surge can add another one to their 2 goals so far in this period. All the goals have come in the second period as the Lynx come back the other way as they stifle a Surge attack, but it's turned over at center ice. It's shot down the ice, but on the wrong side of the red line, but icing is waved off nonetheless. Now 13 seconds, one more chance. The Surge can't keep it onside though, as play will slow down in front of the penalty kill, or in front of the penalty box rather. Votor settles it down for the Surge, but that'll run out the clock here in the second period in member 2. Gabriel Buffett struck first early in this second period for the Surge. Alicia Nedelku followed up only a few minutes later. It was 2-0 for a few minutes for the Surge. But responding was Hillary Lawand for the Cape Breton Lynx. At Lawand's third goal of the season in 24 games, 9 points. And that's where we sit right now after 2 periods of action here in Member 2. Surge 20 minutes away from their 13th straight win, but it hasn't been easy for them as the Cape Breton Lynx outshooting the visitors by a metric of 26-13. Still 20 minutes to play here at least in Member 2, so stay tuned here in about 10 minutes here as we return for third period action here on High Button Sports. And welcome back on High Button Sports here in Member 2 for the third period of this matinee matchup between the host Cape Breton Lynx and the Lindsay Surge. A 3-goal second period has the Surge in the lead by 1. They're ahead by 2-1 here. Gabriel Buffett opened the scoring about 8 minutes into the middle frame, followed a few minutes later by Alicia Nedelku. And following that, up later in the period, getting the host Lynx on the board, was Hillary Lawand, and that's where we sit right now. Offensively anyway, the Lynx have dominated most of the game. They're ahead 26-13 in shots. And a lot of that can be to thank to the goaltenders. We've seen some crucial saves on both ends of the ice. There's a couple of breakaway stops in that second period from Abby Jessam, the Cape Breton Lynx netminder. And the Lynx had a trio of power play opportunities in that second period. But especially at the end there was about a 30-second window in which Cape Breton was on the 5-on-3 attack. And they had 3 or 4 excellent chances on top of the blue paint. But Eleanor Felton, the Lindsay Surge netminder here this afternoon, made a couple of outstanding stops, including with the toe of her right pad to keep that puck out of the net and keep this game from becoming tied before the end of the second period anyway. But there's still 20 minutes to play here in Member 2. Lots of action yet in this Sunday afternoon game. The second of 2 weekend games up here in Cape Breton between these two teams. The Surge took the 5-2 win yesterday, but there's still a game in the air here this afternoon as we get underway in the third period, and that did not miss by much. That was a long-range shot from Jade Vickers of the Lynx. As the Surge now go back down the other way, this might be a 2-on-1 forming. McCormick scores! Maya McCormick! That looked to be a pass intended out front, but it is off the skate of the defender, Olivia Morell of the Lynx, and it goes between the legs of Abby Jessam. That's a real unfortunate one for the Lynx and a real fortunate one for the Surge, as only 26 seconds into the third period, Lindsay strikes again. The Surge now lead 3-1. Maya McCormick will get credit for that one. A bit of an own goal from the Lynx as they restore the 2-0 lead. Back to the point. Surge defender with that shot. That is off a shin pad out front. As the home team works it out. It's back to center ice, backing up with that puck. It's Nevaeh Robertson. Robertson was hanging around on the blue line there in support of a teammate defender. As the stretch pass from Holly Gibbs goes long down the ice, it'll be an icing call charged to the Surge. It'll come back down the other way. That's a big one there for the Surge. An early period goal just moments ago. Maya McCormick looking for the cross ice pass there on a 2-on-1 going down the other way. It instead hit the skate of a Cape Breton Lynx defender and went through the legs of Abby Jessam for the third goal this afternoon for the Surge. Faceoff will be down in the Surge defensive zone. As Lindsay wins the puck up, it's Ellie Eisner staring back down the other way. Here's the shot from an angle. Following that up with a big save is Abby Jessam as Reese Fotor, one of the leading scorers on this Surge team, has 11 goals and 24 points in 23 games this season. Let that heavy wrister rip from the far side. Jessam was ready for that. Face-off will be to her left. It's tied up on the draw. Came back to a surge player for a second. Chloe Leckie is the center there on that shift. Comes in behind the net for Danny Ray McGinnis, defender for this Lynx team. Forced up to Julia Brown. Brown gets it down into the surge zone. First to the puck, that's Isabel Kim. Picking up, goes up around the boards. And here's a high shot here from Maybella Scott. Scott draws into the lineup today in the absence of Rhinelaine Gabriel, the Lynx defender, as an affiliate player here today. As the surge tried to get out of the zone, taking her time with that is Kim, but is stopped at the line. Letting that heavy snapper go from deep was Vickers. Always a dangerous player to look out for on that Lynx blue line. Always making things happen with her speed and shot. As Vickers goes back and forth on the stick there with a surge player for a second. It works back to Lindsay's zone. Now to center ice, settling that puck down. It's Chloe Leckie as her teammates go for a change for the surge. Leckie now takes it down the other way, down towards center ice, turned over to the Lynx. Jayla Andrews is going to go for a skate. She'll cut out to the wide side, tried to find her teammate going out front. It was Hillary Lewan, the goal scorer here this afternoon for the Lynx, join her. And now Lewan will take it around a surge defender and back out the other side over to Morel. Morel cross ice to her D partner. McGinnis, the shot on net, and ready for that was Felton with a good save, who knocks it over into the corner. Falling down the corner was the Lynx challenger to that puck battle, and the surge will go for a skate. It's a one-on-one here as Sangster takes it in. Alex Sangster is tied up by Olivia Morel in the corner. Sangster lets the shot go. She scores! Alexandra Sangster, she came into this weekend with 2 goals in 22 games on the season. And now she has found the back of the net in back-to-back matchups here in Member 2 with the high shot over the glove of a screened Abby Jessam. And that's a pair of early period goals here for the Lindsay Surge to give them a 3-goal cushion here early in the third period. They now lead 4-1. Jade Vickers walks in for the Lynx, trying to quickly respond for this Lynx team, now in more desperate need of a goal. Try to salvage some points here in this home game. Final home game of the weekend. Here's the shot, cutting in, a neat maneuver there by Lacey Poirier, but ready for that was Jessam. Going into this period just down 1. A bit deflating on the Lynx end, but that's not to say they haven't had their chances on the other end, as they've continued to pick up quite a few shots here. They've had a few here to open this third period, just haven't broke through, as that is up off the knob of the stick of the goaltender Felton and goes back around. Austin lays it back for the Lynx as she and her line mates will go for a change. Pass up in front of the timekeeper's bench. That is pickpocketed by Cassie Cremo. Cremo had the puck roll off her stick for a second, is given away. Here comes Maya McCormick. She has one of those goals here in the third period for this Surge team. The attack was broken up as it comes back to Victoria Tram, the defender for the Surge, who works it up to her line mates. Her winger, Danica Joseph, had it, but it's off the stack of a shift and back down for the Lynx. Here's Ava Landry skating around. She is knocked into the board, and it's going to be a call against a Surge player here. A body checking penalty. And that will be charged to Isabel Kim. And back to the power play for the 6th time this afternoon is the Cape Breton Lynx. They're 0 for 5 with the extra player out there. 15:26 left in this third period, so there is time on the clock, but it's been very hard to beat Eleanor Feldham, the Surge goaltender, as well as the defense. They've allowed the second fewest goals this year. The Lindsay Surge have only given up 30 goals in 23 games rather, heading into this game, as well as the one earlier scored in the second period by Lawanda of the Lynx. It's breaking in as Jade Vickers going for a skate, and a very nimble stick there by Mackenzie Rossong, poke checking that puck away from Vickers of the Lynx. Eventually breaks it out of the zone. Danny Ray McGinnis had trouble shaking off a penalty killer. What a maneuver by Cremo. Tried to do it twice, but is this time intercepted by Alina Gold, wearing 18, killing for the Lindsay Surge. And we'll dump it in. The Killers will go for a change. Still a minute 15 left in this power play opportunity for the Lynx. The Lynx has had a strong power play this year. Heading into this game, third in the league on the one-player advantage. But they're 0 for 5 and counting so far this afternoon. Trying to strike through, and what a time it would be to do that. Down by 3 goals here in the third period in member 2. Face off to the left of Abby Jessam, the Lynx netminder. Cassie Cremo, the center for the Lynx. Like your teammate Layla Austin was going for a late change, but a miscommunication with the bench. There's 6 players out there right now for the Lynx, one too many. And that delay in play will result in Cremo getting kicked out of the draw, but nonetheless, the Lynx will win it. Layla Austin will start the puck out. Worked it up for Elise Angioni. Angioni was stopped at the blue line as Austin will make a couple of maneuvers and backhand it off to her teammate who dumps it in. The Surge go relatively unchallenged in behind the net, and there's enough time there for Victoria Tran to shoot that the length of the ice and get a change for her Surge teammates. 35 seconds left in this latest Lynx power play. They've had trouble getting set up on this one. They've gone in the zone a couple of times. But as mentioned, if you have the Surge scoring you twice this early in the period, it is pretty deflating, and they're still trying to recover from that. Find a last-minute effort to perhaps tie this game here in the third period. We're not seeing it yet, though, as 9 seconds remain now on the Lynx power play. Waiting to get out of the box here is Isabel Kim for the Surge. So that's thrown out front. Here's a chance. And it rolled off the stick of Avery McNeil, who had the puck right on her tape in front of the net. And that puck came out right as Kim was getting out of the box. Had she waited even half a section, she might have gotten that on her stick for a breakout, but instead it'll come back for the Lynx all the way in their zone. And there's the stretch pass. Avery McNeil is in there. It's a 2-on-1. We'll throw that on net. That is off a defender's stick there and goes up high over the Surge net. And it's thrown out front. Bobbling puck. Cremo was right on top of it, as mishandling that for a second was Victoria Tran. And the Lynx have a couple of chances there, and that is floated up, going hard to the net. There was Madison McCachran for the Lynx, but Eleanor Feldham will catch the puck and force the face-off to her left with 12:49 left here in the third period. The Surge now leading by a score of 4-1. They had 2 goals this period. Maya McCormick, 26 seconds in, found the back of the net. Off a fortunate bounce, rather off a Lynx defender trying to defend a 2-on-1. Also a goal from Alex Sangster, who scored a few minutes after that McCormick goal. And that's where we sit right now, 4-1. The Lynx, however, still controlling a lot of this play. They didn't score on that most recent power play. That makes them 0 for 6 on the extra player advantage here this afternoon. As trying to skate in and make a difference here is Ava Landry, working to find the back of the net for the Surge. They really need a goal now as they try to keep the puck down low, but they got some tired forwards out there as both Cremo and Landry make the long trek to their bench for the change. Now the Surge have a little bit of time and space here, but will instead opt for the dump out to the far side blue line for the Lynx to swing it right back in as they trap them in the neutral zone. Kim works that up the boards for her Surge teammates. Cross ice pass over to Gabriel London. London walking in 1-on-2. Oh, almost danced around the defenders to tuck it by Abby Jessam, but London was either knocked aside by stick or fanned on the shot at the last minute. But the Surge will get another chance here on the power play. Chloe Leckie was tripped up. Danny Ray McGinnis guilty of that penalty and will go to the box for 2 minutes. And the Lindsay Surge will return to their second-ranked power play. They scored once earlier here this afternoon on the 5-on-4 advantage. Alicia Nadilku has that power play goal, scored in the second period for the Lindsay Surge, part of the difference here so far. As it's pinned in the corner there, Jade Vickers out on that Lynx penalty kill there with Ava Landry holding that puck in the corner, trying to kill some time. There's a trio of Surge players into that corner to the left of the goaltender, Abby Jessam, as the Surge finally jam it out, if only for a second. Real difficulty getting that back to the point for Lindsay. Waiting around at the top of the point is Nadilku. Out there on the line with Holly Gibbs. Back over for Nadilku in front of the net. That rolled through the crease. And we have a penalty. It's a back official's arm there. We have an interference call. Let's see who this is going against. I believe it could be a goalie interference minor. Danica Joseph is the one going to the box. She was parked in front of the net, battling with a Cape Breton Lynx defender. Didn't quite see if she bumped the goaltender Abby Jessam or not in front, but the call is in interference of some sort, according to the official. So we're going to have some 4-on-4 action here for a minute 23 here in member 2. And this is nice to see for the Lynx. Not only do they have one less penalty to kill off, but having room on this 4-on-4 opportunity to come on benefit. They have a lot of quick, fast players on this team, such as Jade Vickers and Ava Landry, who can really take advantage of this open space here. Let's see if they do it here. They have just over a minute to. Shot down the ice. Alicia Nadilku. And there's a battle there. Oh, with a head of steam beating out that icing was Lacey Poirier, I believe. Actually, Gabriel Buffett out there on the ice for the Surge. Down the ice as the visitors work it. Couldn't keep it in the zone, though. All Lindsay has to do is kill off the clock. They have 10 minutes to do that, and it's a good 4-on-4 shift there. However, it will be an icing call against them as the backhand clear coming from a Lindsay Surge player heading off the ice was from the wrong side of center ice. And the face-off will come back down to the left of the goaltender, Eleanor Feldham. Avery McNeil is in to take this draw for Cape Breton Lynx. Lost it to her Surge counterpart. Gabriel Buffett clears it up to her teammate. They gained the blue line, then the red, and then the blue again. Taking that in was Holly Gibbs, the defender. Went as far as the Lynx zone and came back down the other way. And the Lynx are guilty of icing the puck there. It was a long stretch pass from Maybella Scott that just missed her intended target. And instead, we'll get a whistle coming back down the other way. 21 seconds left in 4-on-4 action here. At that point, the Lynx's Danny Ray McGinnis will jump on the ice. There will be an abbreviated power play for Cape Breton. In desperate need of a goal here, whether it's 4-on-4 or 5-on-4. They haven't really been able to control the puck since that last Lindsay Surge goal, as well as they have been here this afternoon. Still trailing 4-1 from the Halifax-based visitors. The Surge 9 minutes away from their 13th consecutive win. They have been on a tear here. They will tie the Subway Selects in the standings for second place in the league should they hang on for the win here this afternoon. The Northern Subway Selects playing at home here this afternoon against the Western Flames in Antigonish, so that could change in the standings by the end of the day here in the league, but it would be another big step in this season for the Surge. Currently sit at 19-3-0 in the standings, 19-1-3 regulation losses. As Vickers walks in, she likes to curl from that close side. She might have hit the goalpost there on that last opportunity, but now Nevaeh Robertson will take it down the ice for the Surge. Takes a whack and a slash, cuts in. Here's a great chance as Robertson got awful close. You always have to defend her hard when she's bearing down on your net, as she is a deadly goal-scoring threat for this Lindsay Surge team. She scored once yesterday in the Surge's 5-2 win here in member 2 and sits second in the league with 22 goals. a goal per game player for this surging Surge team. 8:36 remaining here in the third period. Lindsay Surge still leading by 3 goals. Pretty comfortable cushion at this point in the game, but still a decent amount of hockey to play yet, as here's the centering pass. Votor had that on her stick, but couldn't pull back the shot and release it toward the net. As that's off a body, it's a foot race now. Here comes Cassie Cremo. Cremo gets the puck and is taken down. There's no call on the play. As the Surge fend off that threat there from Cremo, who is a feisty presence for this Lynx team, always making things happen. Had a breakaway penalty killing in the second period that was unsuccessful. We're back to 5-on-5 action here now. There was a brief Lynx power play after the 4-on-4 ended, but it didn't materialize. Maya McCormick has 1 goal here this afternoon, scored earlier in the period. That shot is high and wide over the head of Abby Jessamine net. As the Lynx try to force it down the other way, the defenders for Cape Breton will change up as they try to get the ball rolling here and find a way to get 1 or even 2 past Eleanor Feldham. Feldham has stopped 28 shots here this afternoon. Has had a quieter third period though. The Lynx had 26 shots in the third period and only sit at 29 now, so that is only 3 shots in net here this period for Cape Breton. Not enough so far if they're trying to get a comeback bid going. They still have 7 minutes to do so though, as the Lindsay Surge make a change. Layla Austin finds her teammate for the pass. Mary Margaret McLean will skate that into the Surge zone. It's a one and done though, as it is blockered away by Felton Minette, and the Lindsay Surge will come on out. They don't quite get it out though, although the Lynx players had retreated to the bench for a change. Gabrielle London stops up at the point and lays it off a floater for her teammate Lacey Poirier. Poirier walks in, turning back, looking for London. London tried to make one more move, but that is sticked away. Lynx get as far as center ice. Coming in relief is Maybella Scott, the defender, playing aggressive up on the point, taking that puck in deep. Has to come back to her point though. Over for Gabrielle London on the far side for the Surge, who will chip it up the boards and all the way out to center ice. That'll buy her team some time for a quick line change. Way over the net to play it is Feldham for her teammate. There was a Surge defender taking that around and was taken off her feet into the ice by a couple of attackers for the Lynx. That was an audible slash there, or collision of some sort, no call. As the Surge take it deep into the zone, but only for a second as the Lynx take the counterattack the other way. Avery McNeil leading the charge up the other way, accompanied by McGinnis, Danny Ray McGinnis, as there's a collision along the boards, and it's a penalty, and I believe this one is going to go against the Surge again. It's a body check. As the players have a discussion with the lines person down in the corner. The call has been made to the timekeeper's box. The player hasn't quite gone there yet. It appears that Isabel Kim. She had a body check and penalty earlier in the game. Will return to the box here. This will be the Lynx' 7th power play opportunity of the afternoon. They're yet to score on any of those opportunities. Just under 6 minutes remaining here in the third period. Surge holding on to that 3-goal lead. There's a discussion at the Surge bench with one of the officials. Appears to be a dispute over who's supposed to be on the ice. It looked like they were sending out one player when there was already another player out there. Chloe Leckie was on the bench for the Lindsay Surge, but is going to be sent out there to take the face-off, and the Lynx will win the draw. As the power play gets underway, here comes Angioni, throws it toward the net. It wasn't very strong. Got as far as Landry at the goal line, her teammate. Up top for Danny Ray McGinnis. Down for Angioni. Lets a shot go into the glove, and seeing that all the way through a little bit of traffic was Eleanor Feldham with another key save. She's made some key ones here today, especially on these power play opportunities for the Cape Breton Lynx. And the face-off will come to the goaltender's left. Still a minute 43 left on this latest 5-on-4 opportunity. And this time the face-off is won by Ellie Eisner of the Surge for the penalty killers. over to Nevaeh Robertson, who sells it down the corner but can't shoot it up and out of the zone, and the Lynx get the puck back. McGinnis way at the top of the slot, drops it down. The shot from Vickers, it's a heavy wrister up and around, and McGinnis is unable to hold the line. She'll have to retreat all the way back down to her own zone and attempt the break in again. Elise Angioni breaks in, going in one-on-one against the defender, Mackenzie Rossong. It's tied up there as Rossong got it a little far and is taken down. As the Lynx hold the line over to McLean. Far side, looks like Vickers with the shot, and that is stopped by Feldham. Saw it all the way through. Traffic has been good. And here comes Nevaeh Robertson looking to ice this one in. The shot, oh, what a pad save by Abby Jessam. That is an all-important one on such a deadly shooter in Robertson, who was looking for the 5-hole, it appeared, on Jessam. But up to the task was the Lynx goaltender with an all-important save on her team's power play. Holding that line was the Lynx, trying to work that back out, and holding the line once more was Mary Margaret McLean. Down in low for McCacherin, jumping on the second power play unit for the Lynx. In deep for Hillary Lewan. She has a goal today. There's the shot. There's a deflection coming in front of the net was McNeil, but the tip off her stick went into the far side corner. McNeil holding that line and some immense pressure from a killer, a Lindsay Surge killer. Cross ice pass. The shot, that is off a body in front as Ellie Eisner attempts to clear the zone. She didn't quite get all of it on it, but gets it across the blue line to buy her team some time to change, and that will do it for the Cape Breton Lynx power play as Gabrielle Buffett cuts in. Buffett through a crowd, falls in behind the goalie, but it looks like the goaltender fell on top of it. The puck was knocked in behind the net there after the whistle had gone. But no damage is done as the face-off will come to the left of Abby Jessam, who has made some crucial saves here. But with an offensive attack like the Surges, you can't stop them all. Face-off will come to the left of the Lynx goaltender, Jessam. Face-off won by Cape Breton. Immediate pass up all the way. Angioni was on her way skating up the other way, but Cremo, her teammate, beats out the icing. Might have been an intentional strategy there by the Cape Breton Lynx as he shot pretty quickly up the other way. Quickly in the other end, stepping in, Danny Ray McGinnis tried to jump on the loose puck in the slot, but didn't get quite enough mustard on it as Cremo swings around. Backhand pass over to McGinnis, gets a shot through. Along the ice there, Ava Landry looked to be the recipient of that pass, couldn't get the shot off. As the Lynx get some pressure on with 3 minutes left to go, keeping an eye on Abby Jessam in the far side net, seeing if she gets the A-OK from the bench to come off for the extra attacker as the Lynx get established down the other end. Angioni was the recipient of some body contact there and behind the Surge net, but there is no call. McNeil gets the pass up. Julia Brown will take it in for the Lynx. Some heavy pressure there by the Surge. They play aggressively and will take them into the corner. Holding that line is supported by Avery McNeil. Now getting that puck to the net was Masson McCacherin, who's sticked away by Feldham. Trying to get that puck out now. It's the Surge. Maya McCormick will get it all the way up to the point, and it finally squeaks across the blue line. Fighting off the puck in an immense puck battle here. It's Reese Votor of the Surge. Fights there. It was feisty. Here comes Vickers. She has some time. Oh, what a save. A crucial one by the glove of Eleanor Feldham. Some gas in the crowd here as that was probably Vickers' best chance of the night, and she's had a few. Reese Votor takes it the opposite way for the Lindsay Surge, but she had a hard-fought shift and will head to the bench for some teammates. Just under the 2-minute mark here in member 2, still a 3-goal lead for the Surge. Some pressure here late from the Lynx, trying to get established in the other zone. They've had some looks on net. They've registered 35 shots on Eleanor Feldham in net, but the Surge netminder has stopped 34 of them. The Lynx get tied up in the neutral zone here, struggling to break it in with possession deep in the Surge zone. They're trapping them up or between the red and the blue lines there as Lindsay gets it in down deep with only 80 seconds to play in regulation here. Puck is held in on the line. Alicia Nedelku is there first, but gives it away to Danny Ray McGinnis. McGinnis will lead the break and goes back in down the other way. Tried to go on the no-look backhand pass to Jayla Andrews as we're in the last minute of play here. Member 2, the shot over to McGinnis is deflected in front. Looked like it was her own teammate trying to look for that top shelf deflection, but instead goes up into the mesh for the face-off inside the surge zone. 55 seconds remaining on the clock now. These two teams will meet again in January. They'll play back-to-back games in Halifax on the 24th and the 25th. These teams meeting 5 times this year, twice this weekend, twice next month. These teams had met on September 28th in Halifax, in which the Surge won that game by a 5-1 score. And it looks like they will hang on to go 3-0 in the season series. Surge going to sweep this weekend homestand for the Cape Breton Lynx. Coming home with 4 points, the Lindsay Surge back to Halifax after this one. 18 seconds remaining in the game. Great all-around game for the Surge. Didn't necessarily dominate on the offense, but they scored when they needed the goals, including 2 early ones here in the third period to put this game out of reach. Only 2 seconds left in the game now. But this will be the Lindsay Surge's 20th win of the season, their 13th consecutive victory, and their 11th win on the road here, as the Lindsay Surge of Halifax moves into a tie for second place in the U18 Maritime Major Female Hockey League standings here, with a big effort here with a 4-1 win on the road here, Member 2, as they'll head back to Halifax with 4 of a possible 4 points here in a well-fought game with the Cape Breton Lynx. It was close all the way through up until a few minutes here into the third period. The Lynx on the other hand, dropped their 4th straight game. They had won 4 games before that, have now lost 4, including a pair of them here at home in Member 2. As the teams shake hands to end a very entertaining one here in Member 2 against a high-octane Lindsay Surge offense, who will win the game for them there. And of course, not only the offense for this Surge team, Eleanor Feldham with 34 saves, as the Lynx didn't go away without the fight and controlled many of the offensive chances. A well-earned win all across the ice for the visitors, who will head back to Halifax happy here this afternoon. Well, thanks for tuning in on the High Button for this U18 Maritime Major Female Hockey League matchup here, Member 2. My name is Luke Diamond. It was a pleasure bringing this game to you here this afternoon. We'll see you next time here, signing off from Member 2 on the High Button Sports.